Good afternoon, beautiful souls, radiant femmes, beacons, friends, everybody. Let's talk about tiredness. I reckon if I checked through all of my past clients and beacons, one of the number one things that they would say to me that they struggle with is consistent energy. Consistent energy. Now, if you're watching this, let me know, are you awesome with consistent energy, or do you struggle and find yourself fluctuating? Because it's such a common thing, and I want to talk about what is it that's competing for your energy and how can you be the winner in that competition, because it's not always about how able you are to be present with yourself, right? There are a lot of other things competing with your energy. And as I often say to my clients and at events, the strongest energy in the room wins, right? So let's talk about this and let me know where you're watching from and whether you have issues with your energy levels, because this is a huge one. And like I say, there are many contributing factors, but I want to talk about the three biggest competitors for your energy and then what you can do about it, because you need to understand the three things that are really battling against you before you can kind of go, right, feel into how you can manage that and mitigate that. Yeah, so let me know if you're watching. I know we've got a couple of people on live here now. Just jump on and say hi. I'll try to keep an eye on those comments as we go along. And then let's talk about what these three main competitors are. Yeah. So I'm going to try and simplify this for you. So number one, the main competitor for your energy is your own resistance. Write this down. If you haven't got a pen and paper, it's a good idea to get one. The main competitor for your energy is your own resistance. This is your level of willingness to do whatever it is that you're doing. Have you ever found that if you're not willing, if you somehow have some kind of resentment or you're not wanting to do it and you're stuck in that mode, this is hard, this has to be hard, I don't want to do it, this isn't fun, then your energy levels plummet. So the first thing is to get your will aligned with your work. And if you are stuck in something that you don't find the most joyful, then you need to dig in and try and find gratitude for what you receive from doing this work, or what you may give to others in doing this work, so you can pull out as much juice and joy in your why you are doing it to bring your willingness on board. It's that whole kind of whistle while you work thing. All right, so number one is the resistance that you are having in your field to whatever is going on will drain your energy. We have mental resistance, physical resistance, emotional resistance. I could go on, but let's keep it simple. Resistance in the field. All right. Hey, beautiful Sharon. You've worked with me on resistance in the field. You know what I'm talking about. So the first one, willingness, resistance. Second one, what is competing for your energy? Incoming traffic. Incoming traffic is competing for your energy. I am talking sounds, smells, busyness, social media, information, right? Too much food of various different types, too much of anything going on. Incoming traffic, the amount of things that you have to process and mentally or physically digest or compartmentalize or understand, is all competing for your energy. Write that down. Incoming traffic. And it comes in many shapes and forms. Yeah? But if you've got so much coming at you that you can't process, and we've seen this a lot this year with a lot of information coming into you, then just think about it. There's a lot to digest. Even if it's work related, if it's family related, if it's community related, if it's politics, if it's health, that's just information. Busy surroundings, complex food, financial things, incoming traffic is competing for your energy. The third thing, when we pull it right in, is other people's energy. So we all probably know someone that can be a little bit of an energy vampire, a little bit challenging, or a little bit needy, or a little bit projecting, or you just have a lot of that going on maybe in your workplace or in your family. But other people's energy, if it is very strong, no matter what you do, you're going to struggle to keep your energetic boundaries contained in the face of a really strong energy or multiple strong energies. So no matter how great you are at holding your own presence or your energetic boundaries or staying connected to self, when these other things stack up over longer periods of time, it is just a struggle to really hold your own source connection. And all people over all time, Yeshua, Jesus, other saints and sages have always advocated that you need time out to have time in to your soul self connection beyond your humanness in order to restore and recharge. So when we look at these three things, your willingness, incoming traffic, and other people's energies, and we look at, well, what is the counteraction to that? What do I need to do then in order to be able to sustain energy? Well, number one is to learn the tools of how to hold your energy, and that is exactly what I train my Bear Beacon community in, is how to sustain energy, how to restore your nervous system, how to stay present. So there's those tools, but even if you already have that, you need to take time out from the environment that you are in. You need to restore your soul, body, self connection. You need to get really simple with your food and really simple with the traffic that's coming in. You need to reconnect with your heart's desire and your reason to be, so that you can get your number one competitor out the way, which is your willingness. If you've got resistance around what you're doing, how you're showing up, you need to connect with what is really important to you, and you need to do that in a place that's creating spaciousness around that, so you can really hear the whispers of your soul over the whirlpools and the mental activity of your mind. Yeah. And the incoming traffic, I think, is the biggest one. The second one that we talked about, the incoming traffic, reducing that. So that is about getting simple. That is about switching off social media. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I had a whole 2 weeks off any social media, emails, anything. My VA just had things ticking over. I pulled right back from everything, went bush, did a water fast. So I got simple on my food, actually took out all food. I got simple on my life. Super simple, 100% connected to nature. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and do that, but having these breaks away from social media, having these breaks away from any kind of social connection, getting really simple back to nature, getting simple with your food, reducing the amount of incoming traffic coming in. Now, you can do that as a kind of retreat style thing, or as a little, one day a week, but it's also considering how much incoming traffic do I have every day that is not necessary for my well-being. I don't consume a lot of social media, even though I'm on it sharing lots of tips, tools, and goodness and having a presence. I don't consume much at all. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I still get to hear the big stuff I need to know about, but I'm not consistently putting incoming traffic in that I don't have any control over. Because I know from my energy levels, my main focus is connecting with my soul self, and I don't want any incoming traffic that's not helpful with that coming into my world. I don't need to make it any harder than it is already to sustain that connection in this world environment. Yeah, and that incoming traffic can also be the spirals and whirlpools and cycling of the mind and the thoughts. When we get more stillness, when we can sit back and we're spending retreat time every day, maybe just carving out that 10, 20 minutes of meditation time, it's time to stop feeding your mind with thoughts. Stop giving more income traffic. Stop feeding it attention. It's time to sit back and let the mind just rest. Just because you're busy or not busy, eating well or not eating well, all of these different things, it's not just that is creating fatigue in you. It is the mental agitation, it is the food, it is the business, but it is really whether you are able to sustain a connection with source energy as opposed to get pulled out into the external dramas of the world, which is going to drain you. So you need time regularly to reset. I need time regularly every day to reset, and then longer chunks of time to reset away as well from the world. So what's the last thing we said? Other people's energy is also a huge competitor for your energy. Think about it. What is the type of person that when you're around them, you come away feeling drained? So be mindful of who you spend time around. Some things are necessary, some things are unnecessary. Be curious for you about how you show up in different social and work environments and how that affects your energy. Like I say, in my Be a Beacon program and the training that we run, we show people how to hold their energetic boundaries without pushing people away in order to sustain their energy. So we can train you in that and you can understand that, but at the same time, if you regularly go and put yourself in super challenging environments with many people that are always trying to drain you, it's going to be hard, 50 against 1 or 5 against 1, or right. So it's really tuning into what people do I have around me that do support me and uplift me and sustain me. Am I choosing to put myself in environments that aren't helping me, and why am I doing that? And being curious about that. So some of it is training of what the tools you need to be able to sustain your energy, eat well, physical exercise, meditation, all of that. And some of it is just the choices we are making about where we are putting ourselves, the willingness and what we are doing and how we choose to show up in the world, who we do it with, and what information we let in. It is a balancing act. I believe there is no reason why you can't have vibrant energy and health when you start to balance these things out. But you have to start with giving yourself permission to, as Yeshua said, be in the world but not of the world. To train yourself in presence and also to choose when not to be in the whole drama of it. When to sit back. And then there is no reason why you can't have vibrant energy, better connection, better everything as you age, as you mature through this world, and you get better and better at choosing what fills you up so that when you are out in the world, you are a magnet, right? To that which also resonates where you're resonating at, which is gratitude, which is vitality, which is abundance, which is happiness, which is connection. So if you're like, yep, that makes sense, but I don't really know much about everything that you're talking about with those energetic boundaries and shadow work and mental clarity and all of that, and I'd love to find out more about that, then pop a message below, because I run a Be a Beacon program. It's a year mastery for women, all around personal spiritual development and showing up in a bigger way in the world without burning out, without the doubts and fears draining you. So if you find you keep getting yourself pulled back because of that mental stuff, because of what we've talked around, all this incoming traffic and doubts and energy and all of that, if you feel like you're competing in that and you don't quite know how to get out with the tools, then reach out, because this is exactly what we do in the training. And it's pretty damn awesome. So pop a message below. We've got a couple of spaces for women to start with us in February, just at the end of next week. A couple of spaces have come up. So pop a message below and we can hook up a little chat with you. All right, gorgeous souls, any questions that you have, do pop them down here, and any other things that you find are really, really great for keeping your energy, then we want to hear about it. All right, gorgeous ones, take care. Much love to you.